You've been lied to, not by the sugar industry, though they've done plenty of lying over the years. You're being lied to by the very companies who claim they're on your side, the ones slapping keto certified and low net carbs labels on boxes that should come with a warning label. But what if that keto-friendly treat is actually spiking your blood sugar more than a slice of white bread? What if that sugar-free candy is destroying your gut and stalling your weight loss? Today, we're exposing 20 of the most popular so-called keto foods that are absolutely sabotaging your results. So let's pull back the curtain on the dirty secrets of the keto industrial complex. Number 1, maltitol. Let's start with the worst offender, the granddaddy of keto deception. Maltitol is a sugar alcohol found in nearly every mainstream low-carb candy bar and protein bar on the shelf. Companies love it because it tastes almost exactly like sugar and it's cheap. Your body hates it for exactly the same reasons. Here's the truth they hide in the fine print. Maltitol has a glycemic index of 35. Table sugar has a glycemic index of 60. That means maltitol spikes your blood sugar more than halfway to pure sugar. It's not zero, it's not even close to zero. Yet companies get to subtract it entirely from the net carb count. You think you're eating a 4-gram net carb bar, but your pancreas is reacting as if you just ate 15 grams of pure starch. And the side effects? Let's just say if you've ever eaten a whole bag of sugar-free gummy bears and then spent the evening regretting every life choice that led you to that moment, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maltitol ferments in your gut like a science experiment. Bloating, gas, and emergency bathroom visits are not signs of a healthy keto food. They're signs you've been duped. Number 2, Atkins treats and candy bars. This one hurts because the Atkins name is synonymous with low-carb living. Dr. Atkins started the revolution, but the company that now bears his name has strayed far from the path of whole foods and steak. Walk down the pharmacy aisle and you'll see Atkins Indulge treats, peanut butter cups, caramel squares, and candy bars, all promising low net carbs. Look at the ingredient list. The first few items are usually maltitol, polydextrose, and fractionated palm kernel oil. This is not food. This is a chemistry experiment designed to taste like a candy bar while technically meeting a legal definition of low carb. The problem is your body doesn't care about legal definitions. Many people testing their blood glucose after eating these bars see a significant rise, followed by the dreaded crash and renewed cravings. You're not breaking your sugar addiction. You're just feeding it with a different spoon. You're paying premium prices for a product that keeps you stuck in the same metabolic prison. Number 3, Mission Carb Balance Flour Tortillas. I know this one is going to make some people upset because these tortillas are a staple in keto households across America. They're soft, they fold, they taste like a real tortilla, and the package screams only 4 grams of net carbs. How do they do it? Modified wheat starch and a mountain of fiber that may or may not be as indigestible as they claim. Here's where it gets sketchy. The main ingredient is water, followed by modified wheat starch. This is wheat starch that has been chemically altered to resist digestion. In theory, it passes through you. In practice, not everyone's gut got the memo. Independent blood glucose testing communities online have shown that for a significant portion of people, these tortillas cause a blood sugar spike comparable to a regular corn tortilla. If you're struggling to lose weight and you're eating 2 of these every single day wrapped around cheese and bacon, you might have just found your culprit. Just because a label says fiber doesn't mean your body treats it that way. Number 4, Quest protein chips. You miss the crunch. We all miss the crunch. Pork rinds are great, but sometimes you just want a nacho. Enter the protein chip. Quest and other brands have flooded the market with baked chips boasting high protein and low net carbs. They're made from protein isolates and soluble corn fiber. Soluble corn fiber is the operative phrase here. It's a manufactured fiber added to bring the net carb count down. But unlike the fiber in broccoli or spinach, this stuff can be a nightmare for your digestive system. Beyond the gut issues, there's a psychological trap. These chips are designed to mimic the exact mouthfeel and flavor profile of Doritos. You're training your brain to crave salty, crunchy, savory snacks. And what happens when you run out of the $12 bag of keto chips? You're suddenly staring at a real bag of Doritos with a craving that won't quit. You haven't killed the craving. You've just put it on life support. Number 5, sugar-free coffee syrups. If you're doing keto, you've probably become best friends with sugar-free vanilla syrup. It makes your morning coffee feel like a treat. Brands like Torani and Skinny syrups use Splenda, which is sucralose. Here's the problem the bottle doesn't tell you. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care found that when obese individuals who didn't normally consume artificial sweeteners drank sucralose, their blood sugar spiked and their insulin levels rose by roughly 20%. Other research suggests that artificial sweeteners alter your gut microbiome, the ecosystem of bacteria in your stomach that controls everything from mood to metabolism. When your gut bacteria get out of whack, you become more insulin resistant. You're using a zero-calorie sweetener to avoid sugar, but you might be training your body to become worse at processing sugar. That's a losing game. Number 6, keto bread from the grocery store aisle. We have to talk about the bread. You've seen it. It's in the refrigerated section or in a special display. It costs $8 or $9 a loaf. It has 0 net carbs on the front label, and it's usually made from a long list of things that sound like they belong in a hardware store. The base is usually Vital Wheat gluten, which is pure gluten protein. If you have any sensitivity to gluten, this bread will light you up like a Christmas tree. Beyond that, it's held together with oils, fibers, and preservatives. The texture is often described as spongy or like eating a yoga mat. But more importantly, the ingredients list often contains modified starches that may impact blood sugar. There is zero oversight on these labels. The keto bread market is the Wild West. Some brands are genuinely well formulated. Others are just regular low-calorie bread with a keto sticker and a 300% markup. You're paying steak prices for compressed protein powder. Number 7, pre-made cauliflower and other veggie crust pizzas. Cauliflower crust pizza sounds so virtuous. It's just vegetables, right? Wrong. Look at the ingredients on a cauliflower brand pizza crust. The first ingredient is often not cauliflower. It's a blend of rice flour, cornstarch, and tapioca starch. These are some of the highest glycemic ingredients on planet Earth. Tapioca starch is particularly sneaky. It's almost pure carbohydrate and digests incredibly fast. The companies get away with the cauliflower branding because there is some cauliflower in there, giving it the right to use the name and the healthy green coloring on the box. But you're essentially eating a thin crust pizza made from the same stuff that thickens cheap pudding. If you eat this thinking you're staying in ketosis, you're being played. Always read the ingredients before the front label. Number 8, keto, granola, and cereal. You want a quick breakfast. You pour a bowl of keto cereal with almond milk. It's crunchy, it's sweet, and it only has 5 net carbs per serving. But look at that serving size. It's usually a third of a cup or a quarter of a cup. It's about the size of a small handful. Now, when was the last time you ate just a quarter cup of cereal? Most of us pour until the bowl looks full. If you double or triple the serving, which is very easy to do because these products are calorie dense and not very filling, you've just consumed a significant amount of carbs. Furthermore, these cereals are often sweetened with allulose or monk fruit, which are better options than maltitol, but they're coating nuts and seeds that are naturally high in inflammatory omega-6 fats. You're eating a bowl of expensive sweetened birdseed that keeps you wanting more. It's not a meal. It's a gateway snack. Number 9, pre-made keto. Fat bombs from the freezer aisle. Fat bombs are a wonderful tool when you make them at home with coconut oil, cocoa powder, and maybe some nut butter. You control the ingredients. You know you're eating clean fat. But the commercial versions, they're a different animal. These little frozen pucks are often made with cheap vegetable oils and fillers to keep them shelf-stable in the freezer. They're loaded with sugar alcohols and emulsifiers. More importantly, they feed a habit of constant snacking and dessert eating that many of us are trying to break on keto. The goal of this way of eating isn't just to swap sugar for erythritol, it's to become metabolically flexible so you don't need a sweet treat at 3 in the afternoon. Buying a box of fat bombs at the store keeps you in the mindset that you need dessert every night. That's a mental trap, not a metabolic one. Number 10, Cool Whip sugar-free. It says 0 sugar and only a couple of carbs per serving. It's fluffy and delicious on top of your keto berries. What could go wrong? The ingredients: water, hydrogenated vegetable oil, high fructose corn syrup. Wait, let me read that again. High fructose corn syrup. How is it sugar-free? Because the serving size is so small, 2 tablespoons, that the amount of HFCS falls below the legal threshold where they have to round up to 1 gram, so they can list it as 0 grams of sugar per serving. But it's in there. And HFCS is metabolic poison, especially for a keto diet. You're literally drizzling the worst kind of sugar onto your carefully prepared low-carb dessert. If it has a long list of unpronounceable oils and any mention of corn syrup, put it back in the freezer. Grab a carton of heavy whipping cream and whip it yourself. It takes 30 seconds, and you won't be sabotaged by a labeling loophole. Number 11, BAI and other antioxidant drinks. They're colorful, they're sweet, they have only 1 gram of sugar, and they're marketed as healthy superfood drinks. But look closer. The sweetness comes from erythritol and stevia, which is fine. The problem is the flavor base is often fruit juice concentrate. When you concentrate fruit juice, you remove the water and leave behind a dense syrup of fruit sugar. They use just enough to flavor the drink while keeping the sugar number low on the label. But you're still consuming fructose. For someone deep in ketosis, that little hit of fruit sugar can be enough to cause fat burning. You're better off drinking water with a squeeze of real lemon. You get the flavor without the hidden fruit sugars hiding in the fine print. Number 12, gluten-free soy sauce, tamari. Traps. Tamari is usually a great keto option compared to regular soy sauce, which sometimes has wheat. But we're not talking about the sauce itself. We're talking about what you put it on. The keto community has embraced sushi nights with cauliflower rice and sashimi. That's smart, but many people don't realize that imitation crab meat, the stuff in those cheap California rolls, is not keto. It's made from a paste of white fish called surimi, held together with wheat starch and sugar. And that spicy mayo you're drizzling, it's often cut with sweetened condensed milk or sugar to get that perfect texture at the sushi bar. You think you're being good by avoiding the rice, but you're getting a side of sugar and starch in the protein and sauce. Number 13, beef jerky. Jerky is the perfect portable protein snack, unless it's not. Flip over the bag of that big-name gas station brand jerky. Teriyaki flavor, loaded with sugar. Sweet and spicy? Brown sugar is in the top 3 ingredients. Even original flavor often has sugar listed in the first 5 ingredients. You are eating candy-coated meat. The sugar acts as a preservative and a flavor enhancer. To find truly keto-friendly jerky, you have to hunt for brands that use just salt and spices, or you have to make your own. If you're grabbing a bag of Oberto or Jack Links on a road trip thinking it's a safe zero-carb option, you're likely getting a hefty dose of sugar you didn't budget for. Number 14, keto ice cream. We love Keto Pint, Rebel, and Enlighten. These brands have changed the game for keto dessert lovers, but they come with a massive pint-sized caveat. They are made with sugar alcohols and fibers that can cause major stomach distress. And because they taste so close to the real thing, portion control goes out the window. The label says 5 grams net carbs per serving. There are 4 servings in that pint. The company knows, and you know, that you are absolutely not eating just a quarter of that pint while watching Netflix. You're eating the whole thing. You've just consumed 20 grams of net carbs plus a gut full of chicory root fiber that's going to make you feel like you swallowed a balloon. They are a wonderful occasional treat. But if that pint is a nightly ritual, that's why the scale isn't moving. Number 15, almond flour tortillas. Siete is a popular brand because it's grain-free. And grain-free sounds like keto, but these tortillas are made primarily from cassava flour and tapioca flour. We already discussed tapioca as a blood sugar nightmare. Cassava is the root that tapioca comes from. These tortillas might be gluten-free and paleo, but they are absolutely not low-carb. A single Siete tortilla can have upwards of 18 to 20 grams of net carbs. That's more than a slice of white bread. Just because it's made from a root vegetable instead of wheat doesn't mean it's safe for ketosis. Don't get tricked by the grain-free label. You have to look at the actual carbohydrate count. Number 16, healthy vegan cheese. Cheese is a keto superfood. Full stop. But when you venture into the world of vegan cheese because you're lactose intolerant or curious, you enter a minefield. To make a nut or soy paste melt and stretch like real cheese, manufacturers add starches. Lots of them. Potato starch, cornstarch, and tapioca starch are the backbone of nearly every slice of vegan cheddar or mozzarella. What looks like a healthy alternative to dairy is actually just a slice of flavored starch. There is almost no protein, and the carb count can be as high as 5 to 7 grams per slice. Real cheese has 0 to 1 gram. Stick to real cheese, or if you must go dairy-free, stick to simple nutritional yeast for flavor instead of processed fake cheese slices. Number 17, coconut aminos. This is the darling of the health food world. It's a soy-free alternative to soy sauce, and it tastes fantastic. It's slightly sweeter and richer than regular soy sauce, and there's a reason for that. Coconut aminos are made from fermented coconut sap. That sap is naturally very high in sugar. By the time it's bottled, coconut aminos contains roughly 1 to 2 grams of sugar per teaspoon. That doesn't sound like a lot until you realize how much you use. A good glug into a stir-fry pan can be 3 or 4 tablespoons. You've just added a hidden 6 to 8 grams of pure sugar to your dinner. For comparison, regular soy sauce has 0. If you're strictly counting macros, coconut aminos is a trap dressed up as a health food. Number 18. Bone broth from the carton. Homemade bone broth simmered for 2 days? Liquid gold, full of collagen and gelatin? Shelf-stable carton bone broth from the grocery store? Not the same thing at all. Read the ingredients on that box of Kettle and Fire or Imagine bone broth. You'll often find natural flavors and yeast extract. Yeast extract is a way to make something taste savory and meaty without using as much real bone. More importantly, it's a source of free glutamates, which can act like MSG. While that's not a carb issue, the protein content is often abysmal. A cup of real bone broth has 9 to 12 grams of protein. Many carton broths have just 4 or 5 grams. You're paying premium prices for flavored water. If you want the healing benefits of bone broth for your joints and gut on keto, you have to make it yourself or buy the expensive frozen concentrates. Number 19. Dried cranberries. You're at a restaurant. You order the keto-friendly Cobb salad or chicken salad. It comes out covered in dried cranberries. You pick around them, or maybe you just eat a few. How bad could it be? Dried cranberries are almost never just dried cranberries. They are infused with sugar or apple juice concentrate to make them palatable because cranberries are naturally so tart, they're inedible. A quarter cup of dried cranberries can have over 25 grams of sugar. That's more sugar than a Snickers bar. And they're sprinkled on your salad like they're healthy. The same goes for dried mango, dried pineapple, and banana chips. If it's dried fruit, assume it's a sugar bomb. Unless you dehydrated it yourself from fresh, whole fruit, it's candy masquerading as produce. Number 20. Sugar-free ketchup and BBQ sauce. Last one, and it's a big one for grill masters. You buy the sugar-free Heinz or G. Hughes BBQ sauce. You think you're safe. And mostly, you are. The carb count is low. The trap here isn't the sauce itself. It's the behavior it enables. Sauce covers up the taste of bland, dry, overcooked food. If you're dousing your dry chicken breast in sugar-free BBQ sauce every single night to choke it down, you're not learning how to cook. You're just masking the problem. More importantly, the sweetness of these sauces keeps your palate trained to expect sweet flavors with savory meals. That makes it harder to appreciate the natural sweetness of a roasted pepper or caramelized onion. It keeps the sugar craving alive. Use these sauces as a sparing accent, not a drenching blanket. If you can't eat your meat without a sweet sauce, you're still addicted to the sensation of sugar, even if the molecule itself isn't there. If this video has opened your eyes to some of the scams in the keto aisle, hit that like button and subscribe. And tell me in the comments, which of these 20 foods have you been eating thinking you were being perfect, only to realize you've been played? I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.